Welcome to the Top 5 Trails of 2022. Number 5. My number 5 pick for 2022 is the 606, otherwise known as the Bloomingdale Trail. The 606 runs from Ridgeway Avenue on the west to Walsh Park on the east. While the trail is only 2.7 miles long, it is definitely the most unique trail I rode in 2022. While the 606 is definitely a rails-to-trails conversion, what makes it so unique is the fact that this train line was elevated. Here's a little history I learned from their website. In 1893, the Chicago City Council passed an ordinance mandating that railroads elevate their tracks within 6 years. The elevation of the Bloomingdale line was completed in 1913. By the mid-1990s, they rerouted the train traffic and freight service ceased completely. In 2004, Chicago created the Logan Square Open Space Plan, which called for a reuse of that rail corridor. Almost a decade later, in 2013, they finally unveiled their final design plans. And $95 million later, the first phase of this project opened in 2015. If you're interested in learning more about the 606, be sure to check out their website at the606.org. It looks like the eastern end of the trail is not incredibly far from the Chicago Lakefront Trail, so one of the things we're going to do is to figure out an easy way to get from one trail to the other. So look for that video this summer. Number 4. My number 4 pick is the Kankakee River Trail. The Kankakee River Trail runs about 10.5 miles and starts from Area A on the northwest side of the trail down to the Davis Creek Campground on the southeast end of the trail. When you start the ride from Area A parking, the first 7.5 miles or so of the trail is paved. The last 3 miles of the trail is crushed stone. The state park's trail system stretches for miles along both sides of the Kankakee River. Hiking, biking, and cross-country ski trails are on the river's north side, while horse and snowmobile trails can be found on the south end. The park also has a 12-mile equestrian trail, which is open April 1st through Halloween. There are plenty of places to stop and look around on this trail. There's plenty of restrooms, and there's a really cool suspension bridge that's almost 100 years old that's worth checking out. It took us about 2 hours to drive down to the trail, which is a lot for riding only a 21-mile round trip, so be aware that there are other trails in the area that you can explore. Those include the I&M Canal State Trail, the Waponsie Glacial Trail, the Old Plank Road Trail, and the trails at Midewin National Tallgrass Prairie. Number 3. My number 3 pick is the Eisenbahn State Trail, which runs from Eden, Wisconsin on the north end, and it runs 25 miles south past West Bend, Wisconsin. For this trail, I decided to start the trail from Kewaskum. Rather than start in Eden or West Bend, I thought it better to start somewhere in the middle rather than, at the most extreme, to be about 25 miles away from our car. The trail was built on a former railroad corridor. Eisenbahn is a German word for railroad. The first 20 miles of the trail from the north is crushed stone. The last 5 miles around West Bend is paved. The trail is open from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., and I should also note that a state trail pass is not required for the Eisenbahn State Trail. When in Kewaskum, make sure to check out the September 11th Memorial. When in Campbellsport, be sure to check out the Hometown Grub and Pub. We stopped there on the way up and the way down, and those were really nice people. Once we made our way all the way north to Eden, we checked out Harv's Demos 4, which is a bar and grill in Eden, Wisconsin. They have an outdoor seating area, a memorial, and one of the coolest benches I've ever seen. When in West Bend, be sure to check out Gary's Place. Gary's Place has an awesome outdoor seating area. And when we asked for a table near the bike racks, Gary opened the gate and told us we could park them right next to our table if we wanted. Number 2. My number 2 pick is the Bugline Trail. The Bugline Trail is a 16-mile fully paved trail that runs from Menomonee Falls on the east and North Lake in the town of Merton on the west. The trail was built in 1983 on the former Chicago, Milwaukee, St. Paul, and Pacific Railroad right-of-way. It owes its existence to the quarries near Lannon because trains used to haul stone from the deep limestone pits, which still operate today. I recommend checking out this trail on a sunny day. That way, when you ride past the quarries, you're going to get the full effect of the extremely blue water. We parked at the Menomonee Park Trailhead, which features bike racks, an informational kiosk, and a bicycle tune-up station. Once we made it to the east side of the trail in Menomonee Falls, we checked out the Water Street Pub and Grill. When riding through Sussex, we tried the Tequila Mexican Cantina, which is right on the trail. They had really good margaritas and an awesome outdoor seating area. And if you end up running into either of these guys who are riding e-trikes, be sure to let them know that Cynical Zombie says hello. Number 1. As many of you I'm sure have already guessed, my number 1 pick is the Chicago Lakefront Trail. The Chicago Lakefront Trail runs from Ardmore on the north end down to 71st Street on the south end. The trail is paved the entire way and is quite simply the best trail I've ever ridden. There's a ton to see and do right from the trail. You can check out Lincoln Park Zoo, or you could explore Navy Pier, or Museum Campus, or Grant Park, or you could check out a number of different beaches. You could spend all day on the Lakefront Trail and spend a ton of money. Or you could spend all day on the Lakefront Trail, bring a cooler of stuff, and only pay for parking. The adventure is completely up to you. To those of you who haven't ridden the Chicago Lakefront Trail yet, I encourage you to check out my Chicago Lakefront Trail video from summer and my channel update video from January, which shows some of the things we've been able to see and do right from the trail. And if that hasn't convinced you to give the Chicago Lakefront Trail a try, then allow me to try and convince you this year, because I plan on making at least 4 more Lakefront Trail videos this year. Check out the channel update from January for more info on that. So that's my top 5 trails that I rode in 2022. What are the top trails that you rode? Let me know in the comments below. Last month I did a channel update if you're interested in some of the rides that I've planned for 2023. If you're interested in seeing that, you can click the info card or look for the link in the description. And before I go, I might as well give you guys a quick update. I've pulled all the clips I need for the channel trailer, so look for that soon. And I have finished the template for the trail news segment, so I'm getting closer to finishing that as well. Spring is just around the corner, and I'm really looking forward to getting back out on these trails. As always, if you enjoy this content, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. It definitely helps the channel grow. And that's all I have for today. I'll catch you on the next video. Do you have a trail recommendation for me? Let me know in the comments below.